Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I hope you are having a great day. Let's start with today's stories. Am I the idiot for potentially being the reason my father and his wife can't adopt or foster? So, my father and his wife are unable to have children together. He has me, 16, male from his marriage to my mom, which ended because he cheated on her with his now wife. The affair was found out when I was 7 and my mom left him straight after. I split time with both of them, unfortunately, which meant I was around my father and his wife a lot, and she tried to be a second mom to me, which I think was shitty, after she knowingly slept with a married man. She was dating his best friend at the time too. My mom died when I was 12. Then, I had to live with my father and his wife, and had no escape from them. They tried to make me forgive them, let go of what happened, they did a bunch of therapy with me. But I always told him I would stop speaking to him as soon as I turned 18. They found out, 3 years ago, that they could not have kids together, and almost 2 years ago started the process to adopt a baby from foster care. During the process, I was interviewed. This was in February of this year. I was asked questions about my relationship with my parents, which I corrected and told them she was not my parent, and he was only because of blood. Then asked how I would feel about a sibling, and I told them I would have nothing to do with the child, and was planning to move and never speak to my father again once I turned 18. The social worker looked kinda alarmed by that. She asked me about my father's family, and I said they disowned him after he cheated, and so did all of his friends. Soon after the interviews were done, they were rejected and told they could not provide a suitable environment for a child. My father's wife fell apart. I heard her say Mom must have been cursing her from beyond the grave. She's really religious and does believe people can send good or bad luck from beyond the grave. She's still not over the news, and a few weeks ago my father was telling me I should take pity on her, and at least be friendly to her. I asked why I'd do that, and he said her dream of motherhood is over. I told him I didn't care. He asked me if I had something to do with that. I shrugged. He then went off on me, saying it was cruel to punish them this long. He said they could have provided a child with so much love, and it was wrong to say things that got in the way of that. She sobbed for a week when he told her. Am I the idiot? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the a-hole. During my interview for my father and his wife's study into becoming adoptive parents, I said stuff that probably went a long way into getting them rejected. This might make me the a-hole, because I'm planning to be gone in a couple of years, anyway. So, maybe I should have just lied and said some nice things. I can't lie that I was actively thinking about them getting rejected, based on what I was saying during the interview. They already had so few to talk, and I feel like the fact that the kid who lived with them was so unsupportive probably went a long way. I could have been way less blunt about stuff, and I might be an ass for not going easier. OP gives more info in the comments. About the interview, adoption, and his dad and stepmom. The fact I said my dad, had no friends or family left, the fact I wouldn't accept them as a sibling, and I showed how much I still really dislike them. The social worker might have concerns about who would be there for the child, if something happened to the two of them. Even without the environment at present, I imagine she had to ask herself what would happen to a child they adopted, if something happened to my father and his wife. They wouldn't have anybody who would take care of said child. They really didn't have many people to give positive feedback on them. I know they had to compile that list, and my father had nobody. His whole family has disowned him, and his friends were all gone, once they realized what he would do. I think his wife has a sister, and that's about it. I know that might not have a huge bearing, but when you don't have any support, and the one person who lives with them is waiting to get away, I imagine it could have some weight. But I really don't know. I remember her expression when we were talking, and how alarmed she looked to me. Maybe they lied. That could be possible. I don't think they were looking to foster kids, who were hoping to reunite with their bio families, but more foster to adopt kids, who would absolutely not be going back, like were already available to adopt. She wanted a kid who loved her and would call her mom, more than anything. About his parents, the affair, and his future plans. Info: how did your mom pass? She was in an accident. Was on life support for over a month, before my grandparents decided we needed to let her go. I think one of the biggest things is if she were still alive, I would have asked her to take my father to court and let me choose to stop going. Maybe I would still need to see him sometimes, but I always wanted to live with Mom, and I can't anymore. Not to mention, my father and his wife tried to insert themselves into funeral planning. Maybe in the future I will go to therapy, but I'm not sure it will happen in the next couple of years. I'll be moving in with my grandparents. We have talked about it, and we have it all planned. Even earlier, if we can make it work. They, my parents, divorced because my father had an affair. He was in an ongoing relationship with someone, while married to my mom and living with us. That's more than a standard, we no longer get along, divorce. He messed with my life too. Because of him I had to see the change in my mom, how much his actions destroyed her. I was forced to live with a stranger, and had it pushed on me that she was, quote, family. I didn't even meet her before my first time staying at my father's house. I had no time to adjust. He took away my security and stability. He, and his wife, made my mom's death harder. They tried to insert themselves into the funeral planning. Imagine thinking you can F someone over like that, and have a say in what happens after they die. He wasn't always there. He wasn't the worst parent ever, but he was nowhere close to the best either. I don't know all the details, but cheating is still cheating. I saw my mom cry over him. I went from having a stable home to living between two houses, and a random woman who my father told me was part of our family now. All while, I saw how much it changed my mother and it changed my life too. Also, I admit to thinking about it. But I was honest in all the answers given. It would either be the truth, which I gave, or lies. Because I have no intention of sticking around or playing Big Brother. I don't think that what you said in the interview was the reason for their not being approved to adopt a child. At least not the part where you said she's not your mother, which she isn't, and that you don't get along with your father, which is also true, or that you intend to leave when you're 18, which is very common. So unless you lied to the social worker about something else, you didn't do anything wrong. Probably, your dad and his wife must have embellished their current situation about their family and friends, and when you revealed what the child's family environment would really be like, it didn't fit with the information they gave. And in the end, they have to do what's best for the child, not the parents. So, not the idiot OP. But I really think you should go back to therapy, not to improve your relationship with your father and his wife, but for you OP. You still have a lot of resentment and hurt in you. About your mom's passing, about your dad and his wife, about the affair, and how much it hurt you and your mom, how it destroyed the family you had. I'm not saying you should just forgive them and become a happy family, but holding on to this anger isn't good for you. It wasn't good before, it still isn't now, and will continue to not be in the future. Now let's read the comments. Not the idiot. You were asked questions and you answered them honestly. As long as there were no lies, then you did nothing wrong. It amazes me the amount of people that break up a home, move in/marry an affair partner, and then are all shocked that their kids aren't happy about it and resent the parent for it. Also, sorry about your mother. I'm going with not the idiot, for one simple reason. The social worker asked you a question and you answered with the truth. You had no intention nor the need to cover up for them. If you lied or simply did not answer the full story, and they ended up with a child, but didn't treat them right, then part of the fault will fall on you. Life is complicated, as you've learned in your short life so far. Not the idiot for answering the questions honestly, and it's not your responsibility to ensure your dad and stepmom have children. However, I hope someday you are able to look at the situation without so much resentment. Humans are not simply good or bad, and you are not served by carrying hate. I'll probably get there someday. But it won't change the lack of a relationship. Even if I don't have resentment, they won't be people I want a relationship with. This is either fake or there is something you don't know. Married couples with a good income don't get rejected to foster and adopt, because they have an unhappy teenage son who calls them cheaters, etc. The care system is overspilling with kids, and the caseworker would have acknowledged your statement, but it would not have been a deciding factor, unless there is other stuff going on. There is probably a lot I don't know. But my father blames me for it anyway. And what do you guys think about this situation? What would you do if you were OP? Would you have lied? Would you have told half-truths in the interview? Or would you do the same as OP told everything? Leave your comments down below. Oh, are you enjoying the video so far? If so, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications to know when a new video is out. This helps the channel, so I really appreciate it. Now let's go to the next story. Am I the idiot for ending my childcare agreement with my sister, because I don't want to care for her future stepkids, who I never met? I, 27, female, am a stay-at-home mom to my 2 little boys, ages 5 and 1. I also take care of my sister's 2 children, ages 8 and 6, after school and during summer break. She sends snacks for all the kids and pays me a small amount of money. I never asked for a lot, because it was never a big deal to me, and I enjoy seeing my niece and nephew. But now things have changed. My sister is engaged, and her future husband lives out of state with his 2 children. My sister already told me they were hoping I would take care of them. I asked when I would be meeting the kids, and she said they fly in just before the wedding, and I would start right away. I told her I would like to get to know the kids first, and she said they want to start out on the right path with being a blended family, and that means treating the kids the same. She said they want them to have that after-school time together. I told her I understood, but I would not be comfortable taking care of the kids for extended periods of time when I do not know them. And I would like to have met them 1 or 2 times before they would be placed in my care, otherwise, I would not be comfortable. My sister asked why I can't just embrace a big change and throw myself in. I told her if she was willing to give me some time to get to know the kids. She said no. So, I told her firmly that she would need to find someone else to take care of the kids. My sister told me I was really showing that I only consider family those who are related by blood. But I would feel the same if my brother came back home after several years and asked me to watch his kids, who I have never met, and they're blood related. For me, it's just a position that requires a close, existing relationship for me to be okay with it. Am I the idiot though? OP has offered the following explanation for why they think they might be the a-hole. I ended my child care agreement with my sister because I do not want to care for her stepkids without getting to know them. My sister clearly feels I am pulling away because of the stepkids being step. Maybe I should have worked harder on a compromise instead of pulling out of something I always enjoyed doing. OP gives more info in the comments. I don't know if she, my sister, actually met them. I know the 4 kids have not met. She knows the kids have yet to meet and won't be meeting until he flies out for the wedding, which is when he's moving him and the kids in with my sister. So, that could be part of why she's being this way. She doesn't want me to question if the kids will get along okay. My sister and her future husband have met, but their relationship has been long distance the whole time. They are planning to get married, but haven't met their children yet with each other? And then want to hand them all over to you for the first days when they are getting to know each other, instead of staying with their respective parents and that big blended family they want to build? That seems very unreasonable. I think so too. Especially because the kids could hate each other at first. Or there could be some tension from how strange it will all be, and I would only know 2 of the 4 kids. So, would the stepkids be comforted by my presence? Probably not. Might even make things worse. Okay, first, clearly not the idiot. Second, what's wrong with your sister and her fiancé? They simply want to throw at you the responsibility of taking care of 2 more children, whom you don't know, all of a sudden. You already do a huge favor to your sister by taking care of her children, and she still wants to demand more from you, and when you ask for time to get to know these kids, who are strangers to you, she has a hissy fit. I can already tell that she will have a lot of problems with these children, since she is already trying to pass their care to you, instead of trying to build a relationship with them even before she knows them. And also, what kind of father is he who thinks it's okay to leave his children with a complete stranger, just because she's part of his fiancé's family? He's making the kids move to a new place, a new house, to live with a strange person, who will be their new stepmother, without any adaptation period, and he sees no problem with that. What the hell? Your request is very reasonable, to the situation your sister is trying to put you in. But at least you can say no and that's it, you just carry on with your life. You might not see your niece and nephew that often, and they also might not like this, but that's what it is. But unfortunately it won't be that easy for the future stepkids either. Besides having to move and start a new life somewhere else, they will still have to deal with their stepmother's lack of interest in them and their dad's recklessness. But not the idiot OP. Now let's go to the comments. Not the idiot. Your sister is a my way or the highway person. The only way to re-educate those type of people is to show them the highway. Reiterate your stance, don't play her strawman games. You might want to get in front of the inevitable lies she'll tell family, by proactively telling family members what really happened. Don't ask them for advice, tell them what went down. Not the idiot. She should take a week off and watch all 6 kids, just so she understands what she's asking of you. She's being ridiculous. Not the idiot. Taking care of 6 kids is a lot in general, but especially without knowing these kids' energy level, likes and dislikes, anything. I also think your sister is wrong on the kids' side as well. Wouldn't they be more comfortable with the new change if they knew the person they're spending significant time with first? Not the idiot. Clearly your sister has taken advantage of you for some time now. You are saving her a fortune by caring for her kids, rather than having them in daycare. I'm astounded by her assumption that you'd automatically take on 2 more kids. Her response to your perfectly reasonable request is quite shocking. It really shows her character. Personally, I'd let her 4 children get to bond together at some other babysitter or daycare. You can enjoy some quality time with your 2 children, without the stress of having to care for 6 children. I really hope you stand your ground, and not get pressured into caring for half a dozen kids. Good luck. And what about this one? What would you do if you were in the position that OP? Would you babysit the kids, even though you don't know them? Or would you react the same as OP? Don't forget to leave your comments down below. And that's it for today, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. See you next time.